Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving into a really cool solution for one of the biggest hurdles in language learning, pronunciation. We're going to look at a system designed to totally crack the code of Scottish Gaelic, turning what looks like confusing gibberish into something crystal clear. So let's start with the big problem that kicked this whole project off. You see, for anyone who's ever tried to learn Gaelic, you know that the way words are spelled can be a major roadblock. All right, take a look at this word right here. It's one of the most common words in Gaelic. It means welcome. But if you're new to the language, how on earth are you supposed to know how that sounds?
And if you feel like you're just taking a wild guess, well, you're not alone. That feeling is the single biggest barrier for new learners. You've got letters with multiple sounds, and the rules are anything but obvious. It's pure guesswork.
Here's the kicker. Most language apps don't actually fix this. They'll give you an audio clip and you just copy it. But they never explain why the letters make those sounds. So you get trapped in this endless cycle of memorizing and guessing without ever learning the actual system.
So how do you fix a problem that's so fundamental? Well, you have to completely change the approach. You stop focusing on memorizing whole words and start with understanding the sounds themselves. You basically need a blueprint for the language's sound system.
And that is the core idea behind the Gaelic Grammar Engine. Instead of just making you listen and repeat, it's designed to actually teach you the underlying rules. The goal is so you can confidently decode any word you come across.
So what is it exactly? Well, think of it as a system that takes that confusing spelling and instantly translates it into a clear, simple-to-understand key. It's all about giving you a phonetic map so you can navigate the language with confidence.
And the secret sauce to this whole thing is this really clever concept called the three-layer learning key. It's brilliant because it combines a few different tools to make sure these new sounds really, truly stick in your brain.
Here's how it works. Layer 1 is the super accurate technical blueprint using the International Phonetic Alphabet. But let's be honest, that can be tough to remember. So Layer 2 is the memory hack, simple emojis. And then Layer 3 connects you back to the real world with audio examples. So you get precision, memory, and authenticity all working together.
Now let's focus on that second layer for a second, because this is where the real magic happens. The whole system is built on this idea that you can take these complex, abstract sounds and anchor them to simple visuals that are just impossible to forget.
Okay, for example, take the Gaelic broad L. It's this deep, kind of heavy sound that you make at the back of your mouth. The mnemonic for it? An anchor. It just fits perfectly, right? It captures that feeling of weight and depth.
And then you have the complete opposite, the slender T. It's a sharp, light sound made right at the front of the mouth. So the visual hook is a knife. You can almost feel that contrast, the heavy, deep anchor versus the sharp, light knife.
This whole visual system even works for vowels, which is amazing. The long A sound is held just a little bit longer. It's stretched. So what's the visual? A banana. It's a simple, perfect little reminder of a stretched sound.
So these little visual hooks are cool for individual sounds, but how does it all come together when you're trying to read an actual word? Well, let's take a look at how this builds into a seriously powerful decoding tool. So the heart of the proposed app is this thing called the Decoder. You just type a word into it, and it instantly applies all those complicated phonetic and grammatical rules for you, translating the word into that easy-to-read visual key.
So let's go all the way back to that first word, falte. The decoder shows you exactly what's going on. The hardest part of that word is the switch from the L to the T. The engine visualizes it for you. The heavy anchor sound, immediately followed by the light knife sound. See? No more guesswork. And it gets even cooler. It goes beyond just sounds. It actually understands grammar. For instance, the word for cat is cat. Easy. But if you put the word and before it, the C sound actually changes to a G sound. The engine knows this rule, and it shows you the change automatically. Incredible. Now, this is not just some neat concept. It's a fully developed linguistic system, and there's a really clear vision for how to get it into the hands of learners everywhere.
Honestly, all the heavy lifting is already done. The core engine is finished, the logic, the linguistic foundation, all developed. They've even defined the content for the learning modules. The last piece of the puzzle is just building the mobile app to house it all.
So the project is now at the stage where they're looking for partners to help build that app and launch the world's first sound-first systematic Gaelic learning tool. The goal is to make Gaelic pronunciation accessible to everybody in a way that's just never been done before.
And this just leaves us with a really fascinating thought.
This whole systematic, visual-first approach was designed for Gaelic, sure, but imagine for a moment, what if this could be the blueprint for learning any language that has tricky pronunciation? What if every complex language had a key just like this one?